¿Qué es Música por un Cambio? Música por un Cambio es un proyecto dedicado a combatir mediante la música el racismo y la discriminación en México y en Estados Unidos. Esta serie de recitales invita a la reflexión y al cuestionamiento. Música por un Cambio busca que nos demos cuenta de la realidad que existe en el mundo y que hagamos algo al respecto. Mediante la música de compositoras y compositores mexicanos y afrodescendientes, así como conocer la opinión y trayectoria de cada uno de los involucrados, Música por un Cambio busca sembrar una semilla de lucha, de conciencia, de amor y de humildad en todos nosotros. No hay que dejar que sea solo un ideal. Hagamos acciones. En esta serie existen dos asociaciones involucradas, Racismo MX y Castle of Our Skins. Nosotros podemos apoyarlas a que continúen su ardua labor. Para ello, podemos realizar donaciones mediante PayPal. Todos necesitamos un cambio. El mundo necesita que cambiemos. ¿Qué nos hace falta para hacerlo? Que la música sea el cambio que el mundo necesita. Hi, my name is Armando Ortiz Montenegro. Today, in Música por un Cambio, my dear friend and amazing violinist, Kiana Rudolph, is going to perform a piece called Rhapsody No. 1 by the amazing composer Jesse Montgomery. Here is Rhapsody No. 1 in the hands of Kiana Rudolph. Let's begin.
Hi, I'm violinist and composer Jesse Montgomery, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about my piece, Rhapsody No. 1 for solo violin. I wrote this piece in 2013 for myself to perform on a double bill concert with the lovely Public Quartet at the Cornelia Street Cafe in New York City. This was, from what I remember, a very hot June evening concert in this downstairs venue. It's very New York. The piece is based on a 5-note motive presented right at the beginning that then goes on this rhapsodic journey for about 7 minutes. And you violinists out there will certainly notice that there are some hand positions and some sonorities that are very reflective of the Eugene Izai solo violin sonatas. So that those pieces were very much an influence in writing Rhapsody No. 1. There is also a Rhapsody No. 2 that is actually going to be released this September 18th, 2020 on New Amsterdam Records by the lovely and talented violinist and composer herself, Michi Wianko, on her debut album as a violinist and composer, Planetary Candidate. So please check that out. I hope you enjoy this performance of Rhapsody No. 1.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
I'm
Thank
good.
you. Thank you very much for your performance, by the way, and thank you
Of
for being
course.
part of this project of music for a change. Um, Tell us, Kiana. Tell us a little bit more about you.
All right. Well, first of all, I want to say thank you to everybody who watched. I appreciate that. And so, my name is Kiana Rudolph. I study at the Boston Conservatory. I'm an upcoming junior. So, I'm getting ready to finish up my bachelor's degree, like, in a few years. I've been playing the violin for a little over 10 years now. And it's something that I love.
So, tell us a little bit on how your experience has been in the classical music world or in the music world in general, as being a performer, being a listener, how that experience has been for you.
Okay. Well, I think like the majority of musicians and performers these days, music is something that makes me really happy, which is why I do it. It makes me happy. It makes my friends and my family happy when I get to perform for them. Although it is something that can be a little bit stressful at times, especially in regards to I am a Black woman, and sometimes I do feel that there are pressures that go along with me and my culture and what I do in classical music. For example, sometimes I feel like people might look at me differently, and I have experienced this in the past, or they might consider my abilities to be different, or they expect me to know how to play different genres than like genres outside of the classical field. But I am mainly a classical musician and a classical contemporary musician, and I feel that it's very important to bring light to other African American classical contemporary composers and musicians and performers and things like that. So that's really what I think my journey is touching on right now in my life as a musician and a performer.
Well, in this case, you talk a little bit about that the society puts pressure on you for being a Black woman and a performer of classical music. How have you managed to sort these obstacles that society has put you as a performer?
Mm. Well, I think that this subject can go either way. I have been in situations in which people want to show diversity because they're the amount of classical African American musicians or performers and stuff like that is a minority. So I have experienced, being, for example, placed higher up in an orchestra because they want to show off the diversity. So I think that although it might not be fair, there are spotlights to things like this, but of course, there are always downfalls. People underestimate you, and then sometimes people don't like that diversity, and people can't get out of their heads um, about different things. It's kind of a hard subject to touch on, but I think for me, I just try my best to work as hard as I can and fairly get to where I want to be. And so far, the music world has been good to me as long as I work hard and I'm genuine in my music and my what I want to portray to the world.
That's so beautiful that you said that you are genuine with your music and with your own voice speaking on you. I felt like playing with you in the conservatory. I felt that humbleness, that genuinity that you have, like that spirit that it's yours, and you have that on your music. So that shows a lot. Let me tell you that. Just let me tell you that that shows a lot. And how has your experience been doing your research? I'm gonna talk about the research on the composer because uh, you are going to. I mean, you played uh, both a Black living composer and a Mexican living composer. And you said that in the classical music scene, these branches of society are seen as minorities. how was your experience doing this research? Was it hard? Was it easy? Like what can you tell us about your research
Oh, I will
experience?
definitely
Yeah.
say that. Well, I am pretty familiar with a few African American composers from the 21st century, so that wasn't too hard for me. I did go with, I think Jesse Montgomery is a little bit more popular of a composer, but I definitely know a few others, and that aspect wasn't too hard for me. But I wasn't completely um, sure about the Mexican contemporary composers, and that was a little bit hard for me. At first, I was definitely I was scouring for different solo violin pieces or duo violin pieces, but yeah, I think that I definitely found ways to compromise and just find something, you know. But
Okay.
it was fun. It was definitely fun listening to different music, even if it wasn't violin music. I got to listen to different styles and the way that Mexican culture influences music and just different sounds that they use, and it's really incredible.
Well, I'm very glad that this recital series has given you the opportunity to open your ears to new sounds and new genres. It's very important for us as performers and listeners and musicians in general to have a, I don't know how to say it, like a culture that is not only European, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very happy that you touched that subject. Do you think in this case that music, despite the culture, despite everything that we have talked, do you think that music influences the society that you live in currently right now?
Oh, absolutely. Like I said before, like I think for a lot of people these days, music is happiness, and like happiness and love are two things that really make the world go round. And with happiness and love, you know, two core components of music, in my opinion, you can really change people's minds. You can motivate them. You can inspire them to be what they want to be or spark change that they want to see in themselves and the world. So I think that music definitely impacts society, especially today with everything that's going on. I think it's important to for everybody to hear what musicians have to say, because a lot of people fall back on music for comfort. So I think it's important to listen to not only diverse music, but just music in general, to see what people are really trying to say.
It is true what you say that we need to listen. Despite anything, we need to listen, and how emotions are influenced by music is definitely a true thing to say. In this case, do you think there's anything you think it needs to change on the classical music scene in the world? Let's say maybe more specifically, let's say in the US or Mexico or in general. Do you think there's anything it needs to change? And if there is anything that you think needs to change, what do you think would be the steps to achieve that change?
Um, well, right now, I think that the music world is actually on a pretty decent path to what I think the destination should be. So like people are trying to expose more, how do I say this? Cultural differences in music to the world, like you said, like not just European and Western music. Like we're bringing about a lot more cultures, we're bringing awareness to different composers who should be you know, spotlighted and stuff like that. And I think that's really good. I think that's where I would like to see the spotlight, or our destination as the music world. I think that's where the destination should be. And then also just the evolution of music, I think, is going pretty well. You know, there are a lot of different things out there compared to like the 19th century and things like that. And I think we're going in a pretty good direction, in my opinion.
Well, in this case, thank you very much again for your performance. Thank you for giving us this interview. I bet the audience is so happy that they got to know you. I already knew you, so I'm just happy to talk to you. And is there anything you want to close your interview with?
I
And
guess
if
I
it's
would
in
just
Spanish,
say.
I'm just if you, I know you can speak Spanish, so if it's in Spanish, it's just you know.
No, I think I would just say thank you again, everybody who listened, and thank you, Armando, for letting me be a part of this wonderful experience.
Well, thank you, and thank you everybody who listened to today's recital. An amazing recital, an amazing interview, an amazing person, an amazing friend, Kiana. And I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. I don't know why I'm still speaking English. I'm gonna switch back to Spanish. Espero que todos ustedes lo hayan disfrutado mucho y espero que hagamos un poquito, nos llevemos un poquito de lo que Kiona nos dijo, que la música debe de generar un cambio a la felicidad, que la música debe de ser algo que nos una más allá de cualquier otra cosa. Entonces, Kiana, muchas gracias. Thank you very much. And see you soon. Gracias a todos. Muchas gracias. Nos vemos pronto. Thank you. Thank you, everybody that joined today in Música por un Cambio. Thank you, Kiona, for your interpretation. It was amazing. I know you guys enjoyed. And thank you for the amazing time on the interview that we had. Also, thank you, Jesse Montgomery, for your kind words and your music that is reaching us all. And it's just a pleasure to have you being part of this recital series. Tomorrow in Música por un Cambio, we're going to have the second part of Kiana's recital, performing an arrangement of Danzón número 2 by the Mexican composer Arturo Márquez. So you just can't miss it. It's an arrangement for violin and piano, and it's just amazing. So be here tomorrow around the same time. Be here to listen to Kiana's second performance and to know a little bit more about Arturo Márquez and his life and work. So please stay tuned to Música por un Cambio. Thank you everybody that joined. And don't forget to subscribe to all of our social media. And, on Facebook, Instagram, follow our updates. And please share the recital series because this is a project very dear in my heart. And I hope that you all are enjoying this time that we have here. You and me and the rest of the performance as well. Thank you. Don't forget to make your donations to two associations that we are supporting, Racismo MX and Castle for Skins. You need to have a PayPal account to do so, and in the description of the video you can find the links to donate to Castle for Skins, to donate to Racismo MX, and to make your PayPal account. If you don't have one, you can go ahead and make one. What else? Am I forgetting something? Yeah. No, I don't think I'm forgetting anything. So, thank you. Thank you again. See you tomorrow on Música por un Cambio for the second part of Kiana's recital. And my name is Armando Ortiz Montenegro. Let the music be the change the world needs. See you soon.